Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Naidrich, and I'm one of the founding partners here at Amerivet Securities. In our efforts to continually add value to our client base and bring interesting content to our followers, I'm very excited today. It's a special day. We have one of our board members here from Amerivet, Robert Jones. Robert is a West Point graduate. He also served in the U.S. Air Force, and he actually also has a law degree from the University of San Diego. So, great to see you again.
Nice to be here, Michael.
Yeah. So, if you can.
Well, let me interrupt. First of all, you can't call me Robert.
Okay.
Make it Bob, because the only person who called me Robert was my mother. Only when she was mad at me.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I go by Bob.
I would probably go by Sir, but for here,
please.
So,
yeah.
well, welcome, Bob. We really appreciate your time, and we're happy to have you in here for our meeting today. So, Bob, when we do these things, we try to sort of go in interesting directions, and your story is fascinating as one as I've heard. If you could just talk maybe about some of your early experience, how you got to West Point, how you got to the Air Force,
Sure.
and then sort of we can go from there.
Sure. Well, I grew up in New Jersey, northern New Jersey. Chatham, New Jersey is my hometown. And went to public schools there. I went to Chatham High School and graduated a long time ago, in 1961. And fortunately for me, Chatham was a good town to grow up in. It was a good school. Almost all the graduates went somewhere to college. Fortunately for me, I played sports, and I played football, basketball, baseball in high school. And I was recruited for football at a number of different places, including West Point, United States Military Academy. So that's how I was recruited and accepted at West Point, really as a football player. And so that's how I ended up going to West Point. My parents, my mother was from New York, and so West Point was very close to where we grew up. And so the Air Force Academy was a long ways away out in Colorado. So the emphasis, my mother was, she was just, she was probably the driving force. She was enthralled with West Point, and should have been too. So I ended up going there, and 4 years at West Point. And my dad and my uncle were both pilots in World War II. So I always wanted to be a pilot. And it was kind of funny because when I was visiting West Point, talking to the football coaches and everything, I said, well, could you possibly go into the Air Force maybe when you graduated? And they said, oh, sure, no problem. Well, as it turned out, it wasn't quite that easy. And although that's what I ended up doing, they still allowed a few cadets to choose another branch because the Air Force Academy, I said, like, was brand new. And before the Air Force Academy came along, many cadets from West Point and midshipmen from Annapolis went into the Air Force. So I was able to get into the Air Force, and of course it was 1965. It was right in the middle of the Vietnam War was going on. So we all knew, all my other classmates, the majority went into the Army. And we all knew we were all going to go to Vietnam sooner or later. So that's kind of how I ended up in the Air Force.
Interesting. So when you were a younger person and your mom was calling you Robert, was serving at West Point even on your radar, or did that just kind of happen after Mom started saying this seems like a good idea?
No, I thought it was a pretty cool place. They had there was a couple of TV programs. I can't remember. It was a West Point Cadets or something. It was on TV every week. And it was, it was a pretty. I wanted to go there too. I have to say that. I was recruited out of some other Ivy League schools and stuff, but West Point was my first choice. And so, after going there, in those days, it's a lot different there than it is now. Right? It's more. I would say strict or anything. I can remember some of the early graduates way before me all saying, "Well, it was much harder when they were there, so you got it easy." And I say this, "Well, I had it easy, and you got it easier now," but it's still the same. There's different things that they focus on. I think the academics are harder now than it was in my day. But in my day, there was no majors, there was no minors. Everyone took the same courses. And, it was a Bachelor of Science degree, and you had to pass every class. You didn't. If you failed a class, you're done. You're out.
Wow.
One class, including PE. So yeah. So it was tough in those ways, and I would say that most of us. I will have to be honest and admit, most of us didn't like it while we were there. It was a hard place to like. It was pretty, everything's pretty strict, and we didn't go home for the first whole year. no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no Easter. You stayed there. And so as a plebe, as a freshman. So I mean, you kind of got into the groove of what you had to do, and academics were hard, and so we all just wanted to graduate and leave, and so get out into the military and do our thing, whatever. But so it was a long 4 years, but West Point and Annapolis and all the other academies. We always say they're a nice place to be from, right? And so it's kind of tough while you're there, but it's worth it. I mean, they're all good institutions, and West Point is probably the premier leadership institution in the world.